Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. We're back in a set 21 reveals, and today we're talking about the new red Goku archetype coming out in set 21. Now, guys, I don't know what to call this archetype yet, but please, for the love of God, don't let Polku catch on, because, man, that is just 10,000 levels of cringe. But anyways, we're talking about that in today's video. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to buy any trading cards at all, it does really help me out if you use my link in the description to TCG Player. I really do appreciate it. Anyways, let's jump right on in. We got quite a few cards to read. So we have the leader. Again, resist the urge to call it Polku. That is just awful. Anyways, we have Goku. When this card attacks, draw one, awaken, release it 4 or less, or you have 2 or more energy, and there is a Sun Gohan awaken hidden power under your opponent's leader. Add 1 power pull from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck, draw 1 card, and add cards from light to hand until you have 6 life left. So obviously we can see the whole strategy revolves around power pull. Then we have Goku for the sake of family. Permanent, reduce energy cost of a power pull by a red. Pretty cool. Permanent, if you have a red Goku or Piccolo Z battle card in play, your Goku cards with power pull under them gain critical, and then auto on attack, draw 1. Kind of a convoluted permanent there for the second one, where you have to not only have a Goku with a power pull under it, but also a Goku or Piccolo Z battle card. Feels a little bit convoluted, and also like a little bit basic for an awakened leader that doesn't have a Z leader, but I mean, still, we'll just see what the rest of the theme has to offer. Alright, so we have the power pull itself. We have a 1 cost. Don't forget, it can be free on your awakened side. Permanent, this card's under a red Goku battle card. The Goku battle card on top of this card gets plus 5k power, seemingly completely permanently. Activate main, choose up to 1 mono red Goku with energy cost of 3 or more without cards that have the same name as this card under it, and then place this card under it. So ideally, again, you want to be doing that for free, not for 1 on your awakened side. And then activate main, this card is under a Goku battle card. Draw 1 card, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards with power less than or equal to the card on top of this card, then KO it. That's pretty neat, actually. That's going to lead to some much needed draw power for a deck like this. Then we have our Z battle cards. Don't forget, these are part of the enablers of giving our Goku's crit. Piccolo, Unleashed Power. We have a 2 cost, 1 Z energy, deflect, unique blocker, Z stack 1, Goku, full power and full blast. Then we have permanent. If you have 3 or more energy, and this card would leave your battle area, discard 1 card from your hand, play it to 1 Goku, full power and full blast from under this card, and remove this card from the game. Permanent, if there's a power pull under one of your Goku battle cards, reduce energy cost of this card in your Z deck by 1. Okay, so ideally you do want to play it for 1 energy and 1 Z energy. I'm actually a big fan of that first permanent where you just block with this card and then trigger it to then play the Goku full power full blast. That's a pretty neat way of using Z stack. I do quite like that. All right, now let's read Goku full power full blast. We have a 3 drop 2 Z energy, but again, you're probably almost exclusively going to play it off of the Z stack. Then we have when this card's played, it gains barrier for the turn, auto once per turn. If there's a Gohan awaken hidden power under your leader or your opponent's leader, when your opponent plays a battle card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and that card gets minus 10k for the turn. Not all that impactful, but I guess for 1 energy, it's fine. Activate main once per turn. If you place 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, add up to 1 power pull from your drop to your hand. So the constant recursion on power pull definitely seems solid for the strategy. All right, now we have some kind of interesting cards, a whole bunch of free play stuff. So we have Krillin Student Bonds. Firstly, it's not free play, but activate limit 1. If your leader's a red Goku, you discard this card from your hand, add up to 1 power pull from your deck or drop to your hand, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. I wonder if this opens up more avenues of playing power pull in other red Goku decks. That might be a kind of interesting thing to look at, because it does offer other Goku strategies some draw power, but obviously we're looking at it in the contents of this archetype in particular. Then we have Piccolo Plentiful Strength. 4 drop 15k, activate main limit 1. If your leader's a red Goku, you add a power pull from under a Goku with energy cost of 5 or more to your hand. Play this card from your hand. So complete free play. We don't really see too much of this anymore, like absolute free play. Now, the gold standard, the thing you need to compare this to when looking at free play, is Red King Piccolo from, I think it was set 11 or 12. That was like the epitome of just spamming free 15Ks. So obviously it's not going to be nearly as obnoxious as that strategy, right? And a free 15K I don't think is like anywhere near the end of the world, especially in the current meta. But it is pretty cool to see just a little bit of incremental free play come back in a very seemingly balanced way. And then we have Krillin Desperate Straits. We have a 2 cost 5k unique blocker. Activate main. If there's a power pull under one of your Goku battle cards, play this card from your hand. Free blockers, neat. I don't think it's all that great though, because you know there's tons of removal in Dragon Ball nowadays, but maybe in certain matchups where they don't have mass removal, this can be pretty solid. All right, now we have a ton of 1-drops for the deck. So we have Bulma, Talented Youth, 1 cost. We have Auto when this card's played. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 red Goku or Earthling with energy cost of 5 or less to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Activate main limit 1, place 1 card from hand to the bottom of your deck, choose 1 of your Goku cards, and add up to 1 power pull from under that card into your hand. So I guess if you need to kind of rearrange your power pull onto other Gokus, this is your way to do it. Then we have Ox King, Grandfather of Gohan. We have Auto when this card's played, draw 1. Auto if your leader's backside is Goku for the sake of family and your opponent's leader does not have a Gohan Awakened Power under it. When your opponent plays a card or attacks, place up to 1 Gohan Hidden Awakened Power from your deck under your opponent's leader, then shuffle your deck. Chi-Chi also has the same auto, but her other auto is when this card's played, look at top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 red Goku or Piccolo, the energy cost of 5 or less to your hand, and then shuffle. Okay, so these two, Ox King and Chi-Chi, are seemingly going to be pretty important for the strategy, because you do need to get that Gohan Awakened Hidden Power under your opponent's leader for a bunch of effects that we've seen and will see. So definitely just take your pick of, you know, getting search power for Goku or Piccolo, or just getting the draw off of Ox King. I usually tend to just go for the raw draw cards because, I don't know, whenever I build a deck, I don't try to include that much of the engine, only really what's necessary of the engine. But I'd rather just get the hard draw maybe into a super combo or an SCR or something, as opposed to Chi-Chi just searching only for Piccolos and Gokus. But hey, that's just my preference. All right, now we have the card itself. We have Gohan Awaken Hidden Power. We have an 8-drop 30k. This thing's huge. Permanent. This card can't be removed from under your leader by a skill other than this card's skills. Auto limit 1 if your opponent has 4 or more energy. When your opponent plays a red battle card with both Goku and Piccolo, play this card from under your leader into your opponent's battle area. And then when this card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier. It gets minus 35k for the turn. Then place this card under your leader at the end of the turn. Pretty crazy. This is a free play 30k that also kills something ignoring barrier, although it is only for the turn. So they're balancing the free play aspect by the fact that it doesn't get to stick around. It goes back under your leader, which funnily enough, if your opponent plays a Goku and Piccolo battle card, which I think there are a couple in the game, not only the one we see on screen here, you're going to be forced to give them back the Gohan Awakened Power, which is super funny. That might make the mirror match in this deck kind of interesting, actually. But yeah, super good card for sure. And then we have Goku Overwhelming Power. We have a 5-drop 20k Deflect, auto limit 1. When you activate the activate main skill of a power pull under this card, switch this card to active mode. So not only does power pull give this thing draw power, but also gives it essentially dual attack. And then we have auto when this card's KO, draw 1 card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and that card gets minus 20k for the turn. Activate main limit 1 for a red. If your leader's red, Son Goku, you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. Okay, so not a completely generic red SR, which we have a ton of nowadays, but only playable for 1 in a Goku specific leader. And this also is going to add much more playability to the idea of just looking at different red Goku leaders and putting in some sort of power pull engine. Then we have Goku and Piccolo, arch rivals, fighting together. 8-drop 25k Deflect, double strike when this card's played. Choose one of your leaders, then that card gets plus 5k power until the end of your opponent's turn. Very powerful. So activate main limit 1 for 2. If you have 4 or more red energy, play this card from your hand and place up to 1 red Goku or Piccolo from your drop under this card. And then if your leader is red, you place 1 card from under this in the drop. Switch this card to active mode. Very, very cool that it gives your leader that sense of being type of effect going into their next turn for their aggression. Very, very cool stuff. And then let's wrap it up with a few more cards. We have Goku Enduring Fury, 3 cost 15k. When this card's played, add up to 1 power pull from deck to your hand, then shuffle. Activate limit 1 for a red. If your leader's a mono red Goku, there's a Gohan Awakened Hidden Power under your leader or your opponent's leader. Play this card from your hand. I believe Daily Training has the same exact effect. Yep, you can play it activate main just the same way. And then auto, if there's a power pull under this card, when this card attacks, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 red Goku or Piccolo, the energy cost of 5 or less to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So unfortunately, can't search the boss monster, but it is what it is. Again, don't forget too that the power pull will also buff these cards by 5k, so they're 1 cost 20ks. That's really good. They don't have keywords, which makes them definitely a bit worse than like Sin's 1-drops or Gogeta's 1-drops, but still I think solid cards nonetheless. And then we have Piccolo Prideful Strength, the classic just 1 cost red negate, and some decks have it as being free, like Sin, for example. The auto is also cool. When this card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons. That card gets minus 15k for the turn. So overall, that's the entire deck as it's been revealed so far. I like it. I think it's cool and coherent. I like the reliance on power pull, kind of, you know, requiring that setup, but also not being too difficult, at least from the looks of things. But again, it's just another red deck that's going to be heavily overshadowed by Sin and Gogeta, unless those decks get nerfed. We're going on like what, 3 or 4 sets now that the red decks have just been irrelevant because Sin and Gogeta exist. So here's hoping that some more stuff happens to them going into set 21. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about this strategy. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.